Hello everybody, I'm Alfred, and the video we're about to watch and listen to is a trailer for the movie The Ledge. So let's get the party started.
Yeah, come on, let's do this.
Well, this weekend just got a whole lot more interesting.
So, here we are. Wait, let me guess. Frat boys, right?
We met at summer camp and started climbing.
The locals, they just tried to climb the face but couldn't get past the ledge.
These are some pretty big rocks.
Well, if you need any help up there.
We can take care of ourselves.
I'm gonna hit the sack.
Yo, maybe she's had enough.
Maybe you should shut your mouth.
You scared me.
Hey, slow down, cowboy. Get off me!
Okay, that just turned into something else. So these folks decided to go, a camping trip that turned into this disaster scenario. There are many things that have to be said about this kind of plot line. First of all, there's the realistic nature of things. Let's talk about rape. We are in the day and age where feminists, in their quest to make women look like victims, they have over exaggerated the rape thing and they have put it everywhere. We live in a rape culture, it's a rape society, women are being raped everywhere. So there's already that sensitivity and hesitance to that kind of message that a lot of men have, and when I'm saying that, in this movie, it's like, it's one of those movies, However, not to take away from the experience and of course the need to address the issue of the women that do get raped and all of that, but even at that, we must admit that that even when we talk about people getting raped, the majority of people who get raped are men. So if we are actually concerned about people who getting raped, the focus should not be on women, the focus should be on men. For example, there is no group ever since, for so long, 50s, 60s, there have been all kinds of support groups, there have been all kinds of government measures to help women who have been raped or who are victims of domestic violence. But what group do you know that is there to address men who are victims of sexual abuse or men who are victims of domestic violence? When a man is beaten up in a home, it's called sibling rivalry. It's called boys just being boys. Says who? There are a lot of people who have been beaten mercilessly, beaten bloody in their own home by their own relatives. But because the two of them are male, it doesn't matter. But of course, when in the same home, a male beats a female, that is domestic violence. But why is it that when a male beats a male, and it's often more bloody, when a male beats a male, it's taken as, boys should be boys, boys just being boys, in spite of the fact that the one that is on the receiving end has gotten all kinds of bleeding nose. It doesn't matter how many times he gets taken to the hospital, it is not an issue. Think about prisons, men getting raped. We make jokes about it, don't drop the soup. So when it comes to the reality of rape, it is men that get raped more. So the focus should be there, not on women. It should be addressed everywhere. But if we are going to pick out a group to focus on, we should focus on men. And because the feminists want to make all men the perpetrators and the predators, so they push that rhetoric. So there is already that sensitivity in my mind when I see a movie like this. But that notwithstanding, stories have been written even before wokeness, on this kinds of issue. But sadly, it has always focused on the woman. But there's so much to be said about that. The greater victims of rape and violence and all of that is men. And the ones that no one cares about or addresses is men. And then the one that everyone blames, is men.
We met at summer camp and started climbing.
You see this issue about women going on a camping trip with a man that tries to rape them. Why would you go to a secluded location where there is nobody else? It is just you and them. And you don't know that person well enough. it is, we have to talk about that. Now, I'm taking from the little I've seen that perhaps, she knew one of them well enough. And, that one brought a stranger, and it's, the stranger that apparently, tried to rape her, that led to her falling off the ledge and, being in that situation. Why would you hang out with somebody that you do not know that well and, go, fly away with somebody like that? Even if you knew one of them, they brought a different, somebody that you didn't know, a stranger. That person, if you knew that, let us say you knew there are two men, A and B. If you knew A well enough, but then he brought B, which is a stranger, based on how you know A, should verify the quality and the standards of B. Birds of the same feather flock together. And of course, these are according to what I'm getting, frat brothers. Which even makes the phrase even much more stronger in this case. Birds of the same feather flock together. So if there's a problem with B and B is close friends with A, there's also a problem with A. Where is your spirit of discernment? How did you know? How do you put yourself in a situation where you are so-called close to somebody that you do not know well enough? If B is capable of raping, A is capable of raping. Birds of the feather flock together. You see, why would A bring B around you? If they don't trust him enough, and their own vetting system is like, oh, this person is okay, and then this person turns out to be a rapist, what makes you think that they don't have that same tendencies? So there is that aspect of the entire story.
The locals, they just tried to climb the face but couldn't get past the ledge.
These are some pretty big rocks.
Well, if you need any help up there.
We can take care of ourselves.
I'm gonna hit the sack.
Yo, maybe she's had enough.
Maybe you should shut your mouth.
You scared me. Hey, slow down, cowboy. Get off me!
We are not going down for this.
You mean just leave her like this?
No.
Jesus Christ, no!
The camera. Get her.
Okay, they just turned into something else. Okay, so she felt it's like, okay, we're in a situation, it's kind of like jumping out of a pot of soup and into the fire. And this is what happens when people don't have God and they don't have principle. It's like the easy way out is just to kill her. But you've turned a situation of the crime of that's pushing her off the ledge. That would at best be attempted murder. But saying that it was an accident, and to make matters worse, it was an attempt of rape that turned into her falling off the ledge and all of that. There are many ways around such situations, but they choose let us just kill her, and that's a bit the way out. And the other girl there filmed the thing. Now it's going to be an adventure of basically, you can tell the only pattern that the story is going to take is going to be an adventure of her running away and trying to get that video to the police, and then the obstacles in the way of them trying to get it before her. And that means now since they have committed a previous murder, they now have to be aiming to kill her. And let us look at this foolishness. Look at how many guys there are, and then only 2 girls. Why will only 2 females? Like this is 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me see if there may be more, but let's say that there are that many, 4 or 5. So why will 2 girls go away, on a mountain trip or a camping trip, go away to somewhere isolated with 4 or 5 guys they do not know? And that in itself is an issue. It's a very serious issue.
The camera. Get her.
She's going for the face!
Get her down! I'm coming for you, bitch!
You see, what just happened now is now she has committed murder. This movie is taking a completely different tone. You know, you could say that it was in self-defense, or she didn't not intend to, you know, they were trying to kill her and all of that. But look at this situation. It is their words against hers, and they outnumber her. Of course, we live in a world where, you know, a woman's word is more powerful in the court of law, you know, against a man's word. But when the numbers are like this, you know, it's an interesting thing. But anyway, let's keep watching.
I'm coming for you, bitch!
He's not gonna let her off this mountain alive. He's a psycho, man.
You're either with us or you're against us.
So among the guys, they are now debating, you know, there are some who are like, no, let us stop it. But you see, the thing is that you have set yourself on a path. You know, the first murder now leads to, okay, they have to, since they committed murder, to cover up what happened first, you know. And understand something, it was only one person, one of those guys, that is responsible for her falling off that ledge. The other guys, rather than putting themselves in that danger, they should have turned him, they should have stopped him, they should have overpowered him, you know, had a citizen's arrest, and, you know, saved the girl's life and apprehended that guy. Then what will happen is that guy will end up spending perhaps at most 9 years in prison. That will be the highest, you know. But she'll be alive, nobody dead, and the remaining guys, they will actually be heroes. They won't face jail time. But now, because of this foolishness, they are now all, you know, participators. They are now all accessories. You know, they are now in the active pursuit and aim of committing another murder. You know, so this is a situation that, of course, it's a story, but you know, it's interesting. You know, I'm just saying, if someone was in that situation, or you know, as a writer, I'm looking at the different options and the things that are in people's minds, you know, and what is real, you know, because that is just a situation where only one person could have just, you know, oh, this guy is the one who is responsible, you know, and if any of the other guys, you know, were dominant or more alpha in the group, whether it is the situation that is the guy who is responsible that is alpha in the group, you know. And when we come to that issue, we'll also address, we live in a day and age of Tinder. You know, it is not like it is difficult to get laid. So why the need or the press to rape this particular female, you know, or to, you know, was it that it did not start as rape? It was trying to, you know, he was trying to, you know, seduce and make out bet, you know. There is, for most men who don't know when to stop, or don't really know how to differentiate no's, because of course there is the no that sounds like carry on, and there's the no that, you know, most people don't want to hear. But you know, some people have their situations where their wires are crossed, and because of their ego and different reasons, and because of how horny they may be at the moment, they can't really differentiate between the two no's, you know, when they hear it. But you know, so all that kind of situation, you know, leading up to the situation where she fell off the cliff.
He's gonna kill me. And then
you see, this is now very unrealistic. So now we have 4 strong able-bodied men, or 5 strong able-bodied men versus 1 female in a physical in basically a contest that is based on physical strength. That is what this is. And note that they are expert mountain climbers, and they love the challenge. So this whole area of the movie is now foolishness and madness, and this is where the feminism really kicks in, showing the strength of a woman, and you know, a woman is stronger than a man. You know, physically, no. You know, a woman's strength lies in different things, you know, and one way that a woman can excel more than men, you know, is in the intellectual arena. You know, her mind, you know, she can read, study, and you know, develop her mind, even her spirit, there are other ways that women can excel better than men. But you shouldn't even be, if you're a woman, you shouldn't be trying to focus on, oh, I'm trying to excel more than men. You should focus on, what does God want me to be, what does God want me to do, and let me do it. Of course God wants you to preach the gospel, to spread the gospel, and to help people. You are to be the light of the world, but the how is different for everybody. So it is for you to find out from God the how. How are you going to be a light? How are you going to shine? And be the best that you can be. You compete with yourself. I saw a brief documentary, where another basketballer was talking about Michael Jordan, and he said that he observed that one thing about Michael Jordan was that he was not competing with others. Michael Jordan was competing with himself. He was competing with his yesterday. He was stretching himself to see how far, he can go. And that is a good mindset to have. When you are in competition with your yesterday, you are in competition with yourself, because when you compete with others, the reality of the matter is that all men are not created equal. All men, are not given the same destinies. You don't have all the same abilities. You will now find yourself falling short if you compete with somebody who, to whom much is given, much is expected. If you measure your success based on somebody who has been given less than you, you are now going to be falling short of your real abilities. And then if you measure yourself to somebody who much has been given to them more than you, God has given to them a greater task, greater abilities, and all of that, and that is what you are measuring yourself with. You'll always fall short behind them, and you always look down on yourself as someone who is not performing well, even though you probably are. And as a matter of fact, you're feeling that you are so incapable and you are so less than, could actually decrease your performance so much, because you don't believe in yourself, you don't believe in God in you, you don't believe in your own ability. It can demoralize your spirit so much that you basically give up and you'll be a super underperformer. You see this is the madness, where the guy tried to cut her, and then he cut her leg, with a knife and all of that. In a physical alteration with 4 or 5 able-bodied men versus one female, she wouldn't last. In a situation where they are hell bent on, their future is on killing her to cover up a murder so that the world won't get out. And then there's the issue of, all they need to do is just get the camera from her without killing her. Even the first instance of the lady falling off the ledge, there's the topic of drugging her, sending her to a hospital, and then if she brings up what happened, there are many, so it's there was against her. They were playing or something, and then she fell off the ledge. That they were all stoned, they were all high, blah blah blah. So it is more of irresponsibility, and the whole thing will be reduced to an accident, even though she would obviously have suspicions and try to do her research and try to what really happened. Because understand something, that she was not raped, so there's no she wasn't even kissed. It was him approaching her, and then she fell off the ledge. She pushing him away, and she fell off there. I don't think there was even a kiss at all. Perhaps there was, but the point is that there's no sperm or no evidence of any sexual assault at all. So even that, there are ways to go over that. What I want to point out is just to have the mindset that problems are meant to be solved, and no matter how bad things get, there's a way to solve that problem without making it worse. A lot of people take the path that make it worse, so I'm just putting all these thoughts out there. So that is that. That being said, it's going to turn out to be a somewhat interesting and entertaining, movie. Now, if you are watching this and you would like to be a part of making movies that will put out the gospel, that will push the message of Christ, that will transform lives, reach out to us on Alfred.vip. We are looking forward to hearing from you. We would like to be a part of, your progress. Now, if you've not given your life to Christ, also go to Alfred.vip, click the salvation prayer link in the main menu, the SP link. When you do that, the page will come out that has a prayer of salvation. Say that prayer, telling God you want to become a Christian, and begin your journey with God. Thank you, and God bless you.